Was the size hard in some of those events? Because you said like joust or
Hmm.
you were very fast on the wall. Like you were climbing up that wall.
Yeah. Well, so one of my jobs during college was I worked at a Lifetime Fitness
Okay.
in the Chicago suburbs, and they in the rock climbing facility, and we had 5 different auto belays, so you could just clip in and climb the thing as fast as you could. And so if we were setting up or like it was a light evening or something, it was just some downtime, I would just clip in and try to climb these routes as fast as I could. So when I got on set and that was one of the events, I'm like, oh yeah, I can do that. I can do that pretty easily. Plus the holds were huge, just like huge jugs all the way up. But yes, speed was an advantage in certain events like that one, and my size was a disadvantage in the joust for sure. Because I mean, even the second time I jousted Titan, there wasn't even it wasn't even hitting so much as he just kind of shoved it. It was like a slow sort of push.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I have all the momentum on my side here because he was at least 70 pounds heavier than me and shoved me right in the water. It wasn't even fair. It was so silly and embarrassing.
Well,
It's embarrassing to lose that
if
fast.
you look at like the older season or like from the 90s, the Contenders kind of had a chance. It just seems like the Revival Contenders didn't really have a chance in the joust. It's kind of like one
Interesting.
hit
Yeah.
and they're gone. And it's kind of like, okay, is this like now it just kind of seems like it's a movie now and we're waiting for like the underdogs to take them off. But did it feel like that? Like you guys had a chance or it's just whatever happened happened?
I played to my strengths on the show. So like I knew that as long as the events that I was given corresponded to my strengths, I would take full advantage.
Okay.
So I think probably the event that was sort of the most even territory was the hang tough, where you're on this grid of gymnastics rings, you're swinging and trying to make your way from platform to platform. Because size, it can work to your advantage with reach, I suppose, but I don't know. There's nothing really about quickness other than because momentum is heavily involved and the strategy of that. So I think that was sort of an even playing field as far as events go. But I had a strategy in mind, and I had learned how to move laterally in addition to going forward on the rings pretty quickly. And that one was a lot of fun. My favorite, probably by far. I think what other events. Oh, and then Powerball speed was useful, but once Powerball is the one where you had you try to take these balls, like dodgeball sized balls, and put them in little canisters along the way. So speed was useful, but once they wrapped you up, it was scary. Like if they catch you, they tackle you.
Yeah.
And I mean, really all they need to do is get the ball out of your hand. But if they catch you, they're gonna throw you to the ground. And I remember that first week, one of the competitors, he got tackled during Powerball, and it broke his tibia and his fibia because the dude just landed on top of him, 270 pounds on his leg, snapped his tibia and fibia, and he was out of the competition. And so that was in my head while we were going through it as well, to the point where I'm like, I'm going to stay light on my feet, and if I get wrapped up, I'm going down. Like, don't fight it. There's no use for me, in fighting in it's a 60-second competition. Most of them are. Pyramid included, like where you run up the pyramid and try to make it to the top. Like if you get wrapped up, just go down. Because if you fight it, that's when you're going to hurt yourself. And I didn't want to put my tibia and fibia against someone who was 280 pounds. I just didn't. I don't need to learn that about myself. I will go to the ground, I'll get another ball, and I'll try again.
Did you like how they added water into the mix? Like falling into water?
Yeah, I mean, if only for camera, it looked really cool. And in the Eliminator, that final obstacle course where you went over the first wall and then you jump underwater and they had flames, across the water and you're swimming underneath it. It just looked cool. And I'm all for things looking cool on camera. And that did. So yeah, I was a fan.